DNA Studios. Step into a new dimension.
Hello guys, welcome back to another DNA Studios anime review, or well, anime episode, let's call it that one. And just like I promised, today is about the new 2023 Trigun series, which is called Trigun Stampede. So, yeah. And yes, as you can see, I'm wearing my Asuna shirt with the Seven Deadly Sins logo. If you poke fun of me for making sword art, I will freaking jump through the screen and I will turn Super Saiyan and come after you. Anyway, and no, if you think I'm kidding, well, let's just say that, if you think I'm kidding, let's just say that I have some proof. It will happen. Anyway, guys, without ado, before we get started on this, let me introduce myself. My name is A. Goldman, or Aaron, and I am your host and also one of the founders of DNA Anime Blog and DNA Studios. DNA Studios is our YouTube channel, if you guys didn't know, and DNA Anime Blog is our main brand and also our main website, which you guys can go check out, dnaanimeblog.com. You can go visit our website and you can look at all the reviews and write-ups from all the writers that have written stuff on anime, as well as manga and everything else. And today, like I said, I will be talking about Trigun, the Stampede series, Trigun Stampede, which is the new 2023 show. So here are kind of the first things I want to touch on. One, there will be spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen this, don't watch this until you have seen this new series. Until you've watched the entire Trigun Stampede series, because I will give away some spoilers in here. So yeah, and then two, the second thing I want to say is that these are my personal thoughts on this show. So if you guys have any other opinions, or if you guys want to add anything, or if there's anything that you notice that I didn't point out, please do leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. I always like to hear different people's thoughts and what they thought of the show and if they like this show and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know what you think. And also remember, this particular Trigun Stampede is different from the original one. So if you're someone who's a 90s kid like myself and you grew up watching the 90s version, please keep in mind that this is a little different and does differ from the original story back in the 90s. But however, I kind of like to think of this as a kind of a backstory, because it does go into a lot of the stuff that happens to Vash along the way. Now, I don't know if it will lead into or lead up to where the original one is, because this is a different story. But it is really good, and the animation is amazing. So that's kind of where I'm going to start. The animation on this is 3D animation, so be aware. It is very clean too. It's not like the 90s animation there. It does get a little gritty, and you do get that dusty feel of like a desert-like planet, right? Because they're traveling in space and they are not on Earth anymore, apparently, in this one. So you do get the dusty feeling, but the animation is not gritty like you would back in the 90s. Like if you've ever watched any of the old Gundam shows, they are very, very gritty and stuff. And so it has a different feel to it, but this animation is still very clean, and you still do get, they do add textures and different things to the animation, so you still do get a little bit, but not quite as like gritty and like it feels very kind of just kind of roughed up. The older version just kind of has got a gritty tone to it. This doesn't have that much of, not as much. So I will say that with the animation, but the cool thing is in the beginning, I almost got a Star Wars vibe, which is weird. Disney, you ruined Star Wars for me. I will say that first. Thank you, Disney, for destroying Star Wars for me. But the opening scene to the episode 1 is really cool, and it does give you kind of a Star Wars like vibe. The way the 3D animation is done and the way that the planets and the stuff that you see just looks awesome. So the animation is really, really cool. And even the character design, so Vash himself, the look of Vash, he still has the red outfit and everything like that. He doesn't look as gritty as the original one. The art style is more clean, so you will notice that the grittiness to the art is not there as much. There's a little bit of it, but not nearly as much. And then also the personality of the character is similar. It's not quite the same because this is kind of the starting. This is kind of the start of a new series. So it's the Stampede series, which is the new version. Whereas in the older one, he's kind of, people already know him. They already know what he's like. They already know what happened to him, and they kind of already know him for what he is. So do keep that in mind. But it is funny. There are some funny parts in here. So you will see, stuff where he's out of bullets and stuff like that, right? That's still in here. That's still part of it, and that's still part of the character. And it's still Johnny and Bosch, which Johnny and Bosch does a really good job at playing this part. And he's really an awesome actor and awesome guy. So yeah, still that. But the character's look and the personality are still similar. It's not quite exactly the same, but it is very close to what you're used to with the original. Now, I do want to do a comparison between the two. Also, your bounty hunter guy, and also all your other characters are still in here, including a couple newer ones. And then also Vash's brother is in this one, who kind of is the villain in this show, in this new series, which. That also was not in the original one, or at least I don't think it was. Don't quote me on that one, I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it was in the original one. So you do get that in this one, which is really cool. And you do find out kind of what happens to him and how many towns he destroys and all that kind of stuff. The bounty theme is still there too, so they do have the wanted posters and the bounties over their heads. That's still pretty much the same. What is different though is the show is, it's more of, it feels more backstory like, so it's more of telling the kind of what happens to Vash and kind of his story, which in the original one they didn't do as much. So you are going to see that is going to be different. I thought having the brother as the villain was really cool. Knives, and his brother as kind of the villain, which the reason they call his brother Knives is because he's got powers where he can make weapons and stuff, which is cool. Which I thought that was really cool, and a neat and a cool idea for a villain for this one. Rather than having him hunting bounties, which he still does and stuff like that. This is kind of, they're like, oh, they brought Vash's brother into this one, and he's kind of he's kind of evil, but he's kind of up to no good, and wants to kill people or kill the human race, right? To save these creatures called plants, which are how people survive in these mobile kind of desert city environments in this show. And that those elements that they put in the story are really cool and do make for a great story. I don't know, I would have to go back and watch the original one, but I do want to do a comparison. I don't know if that was in that is actually probably something that differs from the original one. I don't know exactly. But I will be doing a comparison to the original one sometime soon, in probably the next episode or so. So yeah, all those elements in this one really brought it together, and really, it's great. It's awesome to watch. You do kind of stay on the edge of your seat. You're waiting to see what happens next. The ending was good, but I feel like there could have been more to it, right? It's a little bit of, at least in my case, I thought it could have been a little bit. It was good, but they could have put a little more into it. Now, I don't know if that's the exact ending, because there might be more. They might be doing a second season. If there's another season to this, that would be wicked awesome. I'd love to see another season. But yeah, for the most part, this show was really good. I love the characters. I still love Trigun. yeah, I love Vash, and the elements of the show were good. The animation was good. The story was really well done. And yeah, I would highly recommend this. So if you guys are looking to check this one out, definitely do go check out this show. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like this version of Vash the Stampede, where you kind of learn more about him, or do you like the original '90s version of him? I kind of prefer the art style in the '90s, in the original one, but I do like this one too. I am not against this art style. This art style it's very clean, but it's still very good. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching this show, and I would recommend watching it. I think I would recommend watching this one first, though, before you watch the original one in the '90s, just because I think you'll get to know the character better from watching this one, from watching the 2023 Trigun Stampede, than you will the original Trigun series from the '90s. Although, saying that though, the original Trigun is not, the original character is not hard to figure out if you do decide to watch the '90s version first. So yeah, either way, they're both of these versions are great. And stay tuned, because on the next episode I will watch the entire original one and do a comparison for you, or at least talk to you about the original Vash, and how the original Trigun show stacks up, or at least I will try to do some kind of comparison to this in either the next episode or the one after that. Just to give you guys an idea of how the original show was and what it was about, and kind of how it compares to this one. And there are some differences in the two. So yeah, so stay tuned. Anyway, guys, and also I would like to say, if you have not, or if you haven't, please do get subscribed. Get over here! And subscribe, because there's more. And it really does help. So yeah, with that, guys, I hope that this has granted your wish. Peace.
Hi there. Please subscribe or follow DNA Anime Blog and DNA Studios on all of their social media platforms. Okay, bye!